Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Whoa, I got confetti now. Look at that.
Ooh.
So, what is it? So, one, hang on, audio
You
listeners
did
for my.
both, didn't you?
Yeah, but so for my one, is it. So, the
Balloon.
peace sign, I get balloons. The two peace signs at the same time, confetti. Hell yeah. There's so
Do
many.
three.
I gotta.
Yeah,
What
pull
about-
the feet out.
Legitimately, I have no underwear on under these shorts, so thank God nothing accidentally popped
There you
out.
go.
You
You
know?
still wearing your bathing suit, still wet from earlier?
No,
swimming
it's
in the lake?
pure nude, and but the good thing is, like, I would have pulled my pants down, and the camera just would have been covered. It just would have flopped out like that. You know, I am the skin pleasure. Trust now. I'm joined by.
I'm Encino Man, Kirkland Patzer.
I'm the bird blindness, Taylor Field.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the second week of Peacemaker Season 2. This is your review and spoilers discussion. Obviously, we'll talk about this in a non-spoiler fashion, and then we'll give you a warning, and we'll get into spoilers when we're entering the territory of no return. So, yeah, lots of stuff on the feeds right now. 2 side quests this week, just a regular episode covering some news and what they've been playing with Dylan Kirkland, but then you got the trivia, which is about 2.5 hours, so that's a bunch of fun. It's like kind of a side quest 10-year. As we said, there's like that. There's the top 10 video games and TV shows. There's a couple still like 10-year anniversary casts that we just couldn't get done before the August 19th, which again, thank you everybody that joined us that day. It was a great day. But you check out that. Last week we watched War of the Worlds with the patrons. That was tons of fun. Check out that. We got Alien Earth. You guys did a review this week. We got Dexter, 2 last episodes. And then this Saturday we got a hopefully big newscast. Luckily we got a lot of big topics in case the conference sucks. But this Saturday is D23. They're supposed to be their 2.5 hour showcase. Obviously it's not streamed, but of like Marvel, DC, Disney. Should be some first looks or announcements of stuff. And like I said, if there's not, we got Star Wars news. We got trailers. We got a bunch of stuff. So stay tuned. The gimmick this week too, that's going to go right after the Clash in Paris. Myself, David and S-Bubs. So yeah, I think like for the next, I was talking to Dylan, I think like next 13 days almost, it's like you get a cast every day. We're operating on that. We're firing all cylinders right now. I'll tell you more about some other stuff later. Taylor, is this show firing all cylinders? I think last week you enjoyed it, but you didn't love it. Has that crossed that threshold, or are you still in a similar boat right now? Are you still worried about Jennifer Holland and James Gunn?
Hang on. Now, I just gotta circle back to something. Now, you dropped a comment that someone was just ragging on us. Was it for this, or was it for Dexter or Alien?
That was Dexter. We can talk
Okay,
about that
then we'll
tomorrow.
talk about tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Taking our Dexter review, got some good juicy negative reviews. So you know,
I like this episode a lot more than last week. I was laughing a lot more. It was really, really funny. There's more when my mom walked in. That was a little interesting, but
do you remember living with you now?
yeah, no.
Yeah, the after 9 conversation.
Yes,
She's sitting right there. She's sitting in the corner, like fucking like.
He's just watching it.
She's gonna climb on the roof. Speak kindly of me,
Tearing
Taylor.
down posters with Madison.
definitely an after 9 conversation.
My son, the fucking loser.
But it was, yeah, it was just way better than the last week, I'd say. And I liked last week's episode, but this one was really, really, it was funny. I was laughing, having a good time with it, and there's more like innocent humor and just certain things going on with a certain character, like bird blindness, just was absolutely killing me and everything. Like, there's so many good nicknames coming out of that, like Ginger Cool, which we'll talk about every time it was casually dropped.
Stop
I was
fucking
just
calling me that, man.
it was just so good. That was really making me laugh. So, yeah, I think there's a lot going on in this episode. I was really, really enjoying, and then again, it's just the way it ends. It's just it's not great. This is going to be getting like worse and worse. And I think it just kind of highlights too, like the character Chris. He just has a knack for making things worse and needs to just the guy needs to see a counselor. That's all I'll say. But yeah, I was telling Madison too, like, oh, what would you do if there was like a
What do you
perfect...
think about this orgy thing?
Yeah. You know, what are your thoughts? But I was asking her, like, what do you think? What would you do if you bumped into like a universe and you could see in this universe there was like it was the perfect universe where, obviously, if you compare it like in the Peacemaker version, the relationships are there, the characters meet each other, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, like you and me, we're obviously together, but we're much more successful and better off and everything like that and everything. And like you got like best family relationships, with certain family members, and everything's just like perfect and whatnot. And it's an interesting, maybe that's a good after 9 conversation. What would you do? Like, would you pull a Peacemaker like you did last week's episode?
Well, he didn't mean to do said thing, but I would probably that's probably after Night of Brem. But I've talked about before. I felt like in the early years of Travis, very obsessed or just always worried about the what if scenario. So I would never like the what if scenario to be literally presented with me. In certain times where like he was right, where he's very down. Now it's like no, life's good. I'm completely fine. Like that I think that's what happens too. I think when your life is good, those what if scenarios are kind of, oh, I got that notification too, Kirkland.
It's time.
For people that don't know, for the next couple of weeks, me and Kirkland got the Geek Verse NFL draft going. So every once in a while,
Draft night.
Taylor will have to hold it. But no, I think it all depends on the situation of life. I think there's certain times, like definitely before I met Emily, probably like there could have been moments where it's like, oh, that pathway. If something presents itself, very easy. But so it's intriguing one. I think I could say no right now. But if you met me at my lowest, I don't know. I think I might be jumping. Like, if everything's perfect on paper,
When you're in the
like,
Yukon.
yeah, in the Yukon, I get married to like some like oil
No, I was saying
rigger.
like in that moment, if you're in the Yukon, you're sleeping in the middle of the street. Or
Absolute-
whatever the hell you
yes,
were,
absolutely.
And
And
then
there's
that
a
door
portal.
opens.
Yes.
This is your perfect
High school sweethearts there, friends that passed away aren't dead.
paycheck
Absolutely.
from the job you just did.
Yeah, it's a real job. Oh my god. So, I think at my lowest, I would definitely take it. But yeah, that's probably a good discussion to have in the future.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What about you, Mr. Patzer?
Mr. Me, yeah, I personally think that this episode was next to perfect in my mind.
Wow.
I very sold on the show now. I think last week, I don't know what it was. I was leading up to the show. I was a little bit iffy on like the multiversal stuff, and maybe just like the initial reintroduction to our characters with Adebayo and Adrian. Like I just didn't love their scenes in particular. Like especially episode 1, they like tell us that her and were they married or just girlfriends?
Just girlfriends. I'm
like
assuming.
that they were like broken up, and I'm like, are we just never gonna see this character again? Like really? Like we just basically killed her off off air.
Yeah.
And just I don't know, just some things I didn't love it the most. But in this episode, minor spoiler, Tim Meadows is in this episode, and I thought he was next to perfect also. I absolutely loved all of his scenes. He was hilarious. But no, I was really, really digging what we were getting here with pretty much every character minus one. And I'll kind of jump into that once we get into the spoiler section. But no, I thought this episode had really juicy stuff. It had some good emotional stuff, had a lot of humor. Like I was definitely cracking up a lot more than last week, and last week was still pretty decent. I guess one negative thing I'll say is I do like the intro less, like more than just last week. Like it's one of those things where I think initially I'm like, oh, it's a cool variation. New song's kind of cool. But this week I'm just like, oh yeah, this is just so not as enjoyable as that first season. First season, I think I watched every single one. This one, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm just.
It had that hype first season. The second that music
True.
hit, you're like, oh, here we go. You know, it
Yeah.
just got you right in. Where this doesn't have the same impact, which I'm sure they can say, oh, well, it's a different season. We don't want that impact. I get it, but I feel like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe another good brand better. I feel like we live in an age where it's very hard to make iconic TV openings, and that's why you just get like those 15 seconds like music drop beat logo smoke and that's
Dexter.
it. No.
Resurrection.
Oh yeah,
The new
Dexter.
one?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
even Breaking Bad, right? It was just finish Breaking Bad, and then the smoke came over, right? It's like that was cool, but yeah, you think about that Dexter original opening. That to me is a top 10 all timer, right? And I feel like the shows we get, either they don't have them or it's like fucking Secret Invasion where it's AI slop. It's like, well, this looks like shit. You know, like that's the problem where it's like either if they do them, they're not too memorable, but that'd be another good cast to look at like TV openings to pass a little bit because I just feel like they're just not hidden as much. So I think Peacemaker season 1 had that where that's like, oh, this is, I won't say iconic, but at least for this generation, a big standout. And this one, just not. It always just feels lesser than the whole time it's on my TV, which sucks. But you know,
It's too bad because like I would like, you know, you could say I wish they just kept the season one, but like they have the cast in there, so like I do understand why it is a different variation.
Should have kept the song though. I think if you change the
Yes.
dance, fine. But
Yeah,
the song
that's a
should
good
have stayed
point.
a bit.
That's a good
in my
point,
opinion.
especially for
So.
it being the intro to the show. I agree. But since we're talking about the music, I thought the music in this episode too was like just totally standout. Like there's some songs that I hadn't heard in a very long time. One particular, I shouldn't say some songs, one song, and there was one song also that's leading up to like a big action moment, and it was fucking just getting me hyped. I'm like, man, this is what you want before you're, you know, feet first diving into hell. Like this is just a get hyped song. So yeah, I was vibing with every track on the list here. I was really vibing with the music this week, and man, I'm stoked for next week. Like this was awesome. I'm really positive on the show. Only 2 episodes in, so it's a nice place to be.
Espo says I want the episode to go longer or to get to next week's right away. I really enjoyed it. I agree to an extent. That's why I actually have some cons. And Hunter Iggy says I hope we get a 3rd season of Peacemaker announcement. I think that won't come until after season 2 because they'll see the numbers. Luckily, as of right now, they said the season 1. The season 2 debut was 22% up from the finale of season 1, so that is a good start. But as I joked in the Discord, Last of Us 2 also had like massive numbers and that dropped off. I agree with Kirkland that I don't think it's going to have that drop off, but because I don't think we're losing certain things, but you never know, right? Some people could tune. Not that again, another topic. I got to write these all down. I was surprised by how much of a blowback there was for the orgy scene. Like so many people, and not like there's definitely more like, why is this dick on my TV? It's a whole like that type of stuff, right? Like it's too much. But there's definitely people that like what we like are in the same vein. Like I didn't need that, or that just doesn't fit, or that's too much, or it's too much like The Boys. So I was surprised how much blowback that got, and legitimately that could be something where it's like, oh, you know what, I don't need to watch anymore. So that's why I don't think it would be like Last of Us, but you never know if people watch that first episode and they're not digging it, it could drop off, right? So I think that's why after season 2 you'll hear an announcement, even though I know James Gunn at one point was like, oh, I can't say if Peacemaker will get a movie or not. So it could just be that he's going to transition into, you know, Justice Gang or a movie or something like that. But yeah, it's funny where we are because I was very positive on last week and you guys had a bit more iffiness on it. And now it's reversed where I don't have iffiness on this. I just did not enjoy this one as much as the setup here. I feel like it's kind of spinning wheels a little bit because like minor spoilers, we get a little bit of that other universe, but we ended very similar to where we ended last week, where it's like, oh, what's gonna happen? He's on the precipice of going in there, and it's like, you know, fade to black. So like SBub said, there's that. The third, like I guess the third act of this episode, the you know back half of it, I really didn't enjoy. Maybe it's because it's also you know it's funny because I liked the joke last week, but I remember in season 1 not enjoying this character, and I still really don't enjoy Vigilante. I just. And I think it has nothing to do with the actor because I think he does it well. I think he reminds me of a person that I would work with and then would not want to associate with. You know, he reminds me like which the whole dynamic he has with Chris, like wanting to be his friend. I feel like I know a vigilante out there, and it's just maybe that's what it is. Like it's just triggering. But Taylor's like trying to figure it out. It's like it's not what we know, Taylor. I just mean like when
It's
I
not
used
me.
to. No, it's not. Yeah, sometimes, but no, I just don't find that character funny, and I won't say what they're doing. There's just a big section in the end piece that I just wasn't vibing with stuff, and I was unfortunately with Tim Meadows. I was 50-50. Nothing with Tim Meadows. It was just some of the dialogue, like with Taylor's nickname, the bird blindness thing. That didn't work at all for me. It felt like that, and then they pull a gag with it after. It felt like we were in parody territory. It feels like we're in a scare, like if like The Boys, where it's like, oh, this is kind of parodying some other stuff, but even The Boys never gets to that amount because there's still a dramatic story being told. It feels like superhero movie where it's like, oh, this is a good joke, but it just didn't really work for me. See, I wasn't as connected to this one. This felt like it sucked because the beginning, first 5 minutes, I'm like, oh fuck, like I'm in. I like the setup of a certain character. I can't wait. I do think we were talking about characters that are going to pop up in a multiverse. I think they're setting us up for one that we didn't even discuss last week, but I think we're going to see this character, and I think it's going to be pretty good. So, yeah, not in a way where like, oh, big drop off. Just didn't enjoy this one as much, and I very much want to get to the other multiverse stuff. I hope next week is no more cock teases, no more. We go through a whole episode and ends with Chris being like, should I not? I know 8 episodes is longer than some shows, but still, now we're only down to 6, and the finale will be some sort of big battle and stuff. So I do want to get to that world's kind of stat here, because I just felt like the stuff, other than a few moments in the this episode, feels like all stuff we know. Like the dynamic between Chris and Harcourt didn't change. The dynamic with the crew didn't change. You know, like there's just a few things they introduced, but it's all stuff that I felt like they established pretty well last week. So anything else before we get into spoilers? All right, we're going to do it. So if you've not seen an episode, get out of here, come back, and we'll be right back breaking it all down. And we are back. If you didn't want to hear that ad, check out Patreon. You can get every episode we do or have ever done ad-free. You get exclusive episodes, early episodes. Like we said, those top 10 episodes will be happening. You can call in after 9. There'll be retros next year. I got to put out a reminder. This is the last few days to vote. That's the other thing we're doing on Saturday, boys. We're revealing the 1994 Golden Geek winners. So there's like 3 days left to vote, so do that. And yeah, you can send in questions for any cast, really, but most specifically newscasts. Lots of good stuff on there. A big shout out to our Patreon producers who get every single benefit and support us the most. Aaron Braden, April Darkness, Jack Grant, Sam, Super Bad, Mike, God Loves Me, 69, Jeremy Renner, Charlie Randall, Cocktail Clay, and John with no H. We very much appreciate it. And, I don't know why my sister's giving me a FaceTime right now. That's cool.
Did you just watch Peacemaker? Oh my
somebody, what do you want to talk about? Give me a second.
What do we want to talk about?
We should talk about Tim Meadows.
Tim Meadows. Let's start with Tim Meadows. Yeah.
I was super high on this on his introduction here. Just the way he's walking in, and he's just being very blunt and impolite, and he's just massaging Economist's neck and back. It's such a weird scene here and shit. But what do you think?
No, he's so fantastic, and I feel like every role that he does is just like a Tim Meadows variant to the most part for the the roles that I've seen him in, and that's by no means like
I can't help
a
with
negative.
the dead body. You gotta clean that up yourself.
This guy.
Yeah, laughing now, this guy. No, I think every role he does is a variant of himself, but like by no means that a knock or anything on him. He's just so good at that humor and just I don't know, the mannerisms, everything. It makes me question like how much of it is just improv versus like actually a script. I imagine.
Did you see the post credit?
Yeah, the end credit. I feel like
good.
that's just a riff on the improv for sure. You can kind of see it in their faces. It's like an
blonde,
SNL skit.
the other was
at times.
bald.
Yeah.
Portland, Oregon. That fucking got
The
me.
peppermint,
Was it hot?
the
Super
peppermint
hot.
twins. Is that what he said?
The Peppermint Twins. That's definitely hit like him. I know they didn't improv on SNL, but
Colorado.
it feels like that type of vibe. So
Yeah, so good. He was so fantastic. Even like the writing, like the scene before the mission when they're kind of introducing this like mercenary group, and it's just them in the trailer. I like thought that was gonna be like there's really no plot at all in that scene. It's almost like a, not to compare this to like a Tarantino movie, but it's like a Tarantino scene where they're just
Yeah,
talking about random things, like in Reservoir Dogs at the beginning. He's talking about Like a Virgin, the Madonna song. I was waiting for it to go somewhere, but it's just, I don't know, talking about the housewarming gift. It just got me, and it just kept going in like a nonsense direction.
That
and
did
Tim
not work
Meadows-
for me at all.
No,
See, it's so funny. No, I
okay.
just
it wasn't
yeah.
working for me at first. But, like
Yeah.
I like half listened to it, and then I literally rewound the scene to like make sure I didn't miss some plot thing. And I'm like, oh, it's actually just nonsense. And when he's just giving them the nicknames, I was just dying laughing afterwards. It was so good, especially when the chaos happens with Eagly, and he's just like, titties, don't worry, you're gonna be fine, and she's just like
She's
choking
jugular
out.
slice.
So yeah, he 100% worked for me. But like, even when he's first introduced with Economos, I feel like he wasn't working for me at first, but it was just like a slow burn that just like crept on at me, and then eventually he got me with the humor. So yeah, I'm so glad Tim Meadows is in here.
He's not dead, right?
No.
No, there's no way.
They didn't show. They didn't show him. I don't think he is.
No, he
but
got back up. He got
did
back
he get
up.
back up? Because I
Yep.
thought Eagly
And
attacked
then
him and then
I
they
think it was
got away.
Encino Man.
It knocked him
He's
out.
like, we got to get these guys to the hospital. He like
Yeah.
wakes
Okay.
up in a daze as if a flashbang grenade went off, like Skyrim opening.
I swear I did not get that scene, but there you go.
Must have been the extended cut.
Yeah, I didn't get the extended cut, but yeah, no, I Tim Meadows is great. I'll be always excited to see more what he does, and that who knows? I'll say whether it's James Gunn or his improv, I'll say like I said, 50% work for me, but I just like the vibes Tim Meadows brings to it, and I'm glad we got that trailer scene out of the way because not that I'm like, oh, we got to get to it, but I'm glad like
Yeah,
the titties,
me
everything.
too.
I'm glad that we know. Hopefully, I feel like the good thing is with those trailers and things we've seen a lot of the early season, which I think shows and movies are trying to do more of nowadays, just because, just to keep excitement around. But yeah, we'll see what he's up to, I guess. So, anything else on Mr. Meadows?
Taylor, do you like him?
Just the bird blindness that just fucking got me.
Oh
when
yeah, that was.
They're
good.
talking about the hummingbird and
duck.
everything. He's like, because I read about it. Yeah, he's like, I can't tell how big this fucking duck is. That was just making me laugh so good. It just, again, it's just basic conversation. We was talking to economists about like, he's like, oh, what is that, a parrot? He's like, no, it's an eagle. It's the fucking American national bird. He's like, well, I got bird blindness, and I thought, oh, this is just I didn't laugh right away because I thought this is just some weird bullshit, but then it got me because he was genuinely serious about this condition, and that's what made me believe it and just think that it's so ridiculous. And then economists believed it too, and I just, oh, it was just so rowdy and hilarious. I loved it, but everything about him just coming up with these nicknames. And now I can't remember what he named the guy originally, but he kept like demoting him by names, and it was just so wrong. But the Ginger Cool just got me every time because he said it like the first time and he was put down for it, and then when he says it the second time, it's so unexpected, and just the way it kind of almost looks at him, he's like, dude, what the fuck? It's so, then the scene cuts and it's so quick. I freaking love that.
Yeah, it's interesting with John because I was wondering what his status was last week because obviously he's working with Argus and he's working with Flag Senior because he's, I guess, just down to do that stuff to get a job. I am curious how that's going to work if they were, well, he has 24/7 surveillance on Chris Smith, right? So I just feel like last week the drama was, hey, we're doing the surveillance, but I don't really trust John because he is friends with Peacemaker, so let's send in another squatter here, right? So now it's just like, why is he even on these missions? I guess I know Tim Meadows like, oh, they're just testing to see if they trust you. But I feel like now John's like cracking beers with them and having parties. Like I feel like there's no reason why Rick Flag would continue to have this guy do these missions unless it is just a test and whatnot. So I found that interesting though because last week they didn't establish like, is he just not friends with them anymore? Do they just not talk much? But I guess they say he was away somewhere. We didn't get clear. Obviously, he's just lying because he's just working with Argus. So, yeah, I found it interesting that they revealed that. And then we did get the scene at the beginning. We'll talk about it because not much else with Rick Flag Sr. This is what I was getting excited for because the setup of the first thing he does when he becomes the fucking president of Argus, give me that file. My son been asking for it. You get the full thing. You get to see the Suicide Squad scenes and everything. And that's where it clicked in, where it's like, oh man, we talked about last week all the characters in this other dimension who he could see. Like I feel like for the thematic purposes and what he's going through, like Chris, and then how they've introduced Rick Flag Sr., I feel like Joel Kimmon's got to be somewhere in the show, right?
Mm-hmm. I think
right?
so.
In that other universe, because I just feel like that would fuck Chris up so much, especially if they're. I don't know what is the better route to do in that universe. If they should be opposed and enemies, or if he should be like one of his best friends in that universe, and that like he's always wanting to
Best friends for sure. That's what they'll go for.
Yeah, like it's like, or if even if he's just like, if they have a gang of friends, he's in the gang of friends, right? Like how they have the 5 here. If it's like that, where if they're not like buddy, and I don't know, or he's like friends with Hardcore or something, I don't know. But I'm very excited. But yeah, we didn't get much more, but I like that. I am very anticipating when Rick Flag and Peacemaker, or Rick Flag Senior and Peacemaker meet up, because I can't wait. One, Rick Flag Senior is gonna beat the piss out of him for a number of times, and it's gonna be good because I feel like Peacemaker is gonna show restraint and not kill him like he would in the old days. But yeah, I liked the setup. I liked the flashback to everything in Squad and send that up. So
Yeah, this was kind of opposite for me actually. I didn't love. What's this guy's name? Something Grillo.
Frank Grillo,
Frank Grillo.
formerly Crossbones.
Crossbones.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a fan of Frank Grillo. I think I
what'd he
like him
say?
in like henchman roles. No
Okay.
disrespect to him, but it's just like I was talking about Tim Meadows as a variant of himself in all his projects. Frank Grillo is definitely a variant of himself, and it's not bad at all. We need those roles. We need those types of characters, but I just can't see him past like that grunt type character. So having him now as like Frank.
No, Rick Flag Senior. Frank's
Rick
his real
Flag.
name.
Yeah, there you go.
He can't even play
I knew I caught
himself, this
myself
man.
so, yeah. Rick Flag Senior. Yeah, I don't know. It's just strange. I also just like this is supposed to be. I don't know the other actor's name, but like this is supposed to be his dad. I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
remember they explained that in Creature Commandos, though, right?
I don't remember. Remind me.
They because everyone said that like how is this a son thing? They said he got a chick pregnant when they were like 16, so
Okay.
they played off
That
like he
helps
was
a
like
little
a high school father. That's how
Yeah,
he played it
okay.
off. Yeah.
Good fill in. I think it's maybe just I'm not the big. I'm not the biggest fan. He's fighting off his mom. Out of the room.
No,
I'm
those are my
podcasting. I'm
posters.
fucking. I need those.
But I want to watch Shame again, Taylor.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll warm up to it, but it just
Okay.
seems like I'm always anticipating this character, or maybe not anticipating this character. I'm anticipating this character to be something different, but every time he's like supposed to be on the good guy's side, but he's just like an asshole and a bad guy, and it's just like that's the role he's playing. I think that they are gonna be hopefully making it a little bit more than what I'm making it out to be. Like
Yeah.
maybe he's not just gonna kill Squad Chris. You know, I don't think that actually will happen because John Cena. You know, they're not gonna just kill off
He's
John
not gonna
Cena.
what? He's gonna
But
kill like a fire.
but I'm just saying like his motivation. He knows that, and like I also just didn't love how that scene went. I did like the flashbacks, but I don't know. It's just strange that it's like this guy gains this role and he's just instantly doing it for his own like selfish needs, and it's just like I don't know. I
Waller
don't
wasn't
know.
any different
I'm
though, right?
expecting-
Like I don't know if she had selfish
know,
needs,
so,
but I
like,
feel like Waller was a terrible. They
what a
always
terrible
do that.
company or whatever
Well.
government thing, and like maybe that's the point, and like maybe I'm making too big of a deal out of it. But I just right now I'm not loving it for whatever reason.
I feel like with the people that keep getting power in certain places all over, it's like, oh, they just end up being not great too, you know? So it could just be that
Yeah.
where, you know?
I also think that you made a good point though, that this is like gonna be better for Chris's storyline and just like growing from
Yeah.
like the Rick Flag Junior's death and just how that went, because he was just so cold in that kill, and he's gone through so much since, and he's just in emotional turmoil every 10 minutes since the show started already with these first 2 episodes. We'll get to like when he's doing the Dexter scene, cutting him up into 9 pieces. We'll get to that, but like he's just super emotional over that. He's super emotional because of Harcourt, and I don't know. I did like I think 100% of all the John Cena Peacemaker stuff in this particular episode, but so I am hoping that the Rick Flag stuff it gets elevated because of what's going on with Chris. But just for the Frank Grillo aspect of it all, I had to put my little cone of disappointment there.
I don't think you're wrong. I think he's it's like there's some actors, because I can't remember his name, but you guys haven't seen The Holdovers, have you?
No,
There's an actor in there. He's a younger guy, but he just looks like he's from the 70s. Like he just looks like, man, he got ripped right out of that era. And I feel like Frank Grillo should have been the 80s action star era, right? Or action villain star, where I feel like he has a certain type. I've only seen him in this, Captain America, and then the Purge films, but very type of similar, sort of vibe. So
Superman.
well, same character though, right? I'm saying like
Yeah.
he's still, but yes, I have seen him in that. So
Have you
I
seen
feel like
Boss Level with Mel Gibson?
No, anything of Mel Gibson, I'm out. So no,
It's so bad.
I'm not seeing that. So I feel like he's very similar. I like him enough in the roles that he does here. So I feel like though for you, the make or break of when you decide if you're gonna like him or just always be an actor that you don't care for will be when he meets Peacemaker, because I feel like that's when he gets some meat on the bone, right? Like that's when he's gonna get some juicy scenes. And same thing for me. I'd be interested to see if he's like like better in those scenes. Like, Taylor, are you caught up on Tulsa King?
Oh yeah.
He's in there, right?
Yes. Yeah. He
How's he in
comes in
that?
the second season. I mean,
Or is he about the same?
he's about the same.
Yeah, so that's what I
But
mean.
cowboy.
He's an 80, yeah, but a hat, yeah. This time with a patch. This time with it's always that. So like, I feel he should have been an 80s actor. Like, would have fit perfectly in those 80 action movies. That whether like he could have been a guy like Steven Seagal, make 12 movies of just Frank Grillo doing that. Like he's trying to do that now, but like I just don't think the world is built like that anymore for action movies, where it's like, oh, this guy you can just go see in a bunch of stuff and be fine that he's the same actor, So.
But like, I'm sure there's a lot of general audience members that are like, "Fuck, I love that guy." He keeps popping up. I like him as that archetype of character. I'm talking
you
like
love-
Boomer plus.
Yeah, true. The people that are watching Tulsa King are fucking
Yeah.
I love Frank Grillo. But
This guy reminds me of the '80s guys. The '80s action stars, the
Yeah.
Seagals.
and don't get me wrong, I'm sure people love him in like a sense like the guy that won't know him Kirkland, but the guy that plays Hoffman, the Saw series, Costas Mandalore. Like, I don't really think he's like that great of an actor, but he just has a vibe where I'm just like, I just dig whatever this actor does. So I could see that. So, Taylor, any thoughts on Rick Flag Sr. and his now obviously he knows what happens to his son. Even though this was like they said it was like 9 months ago, so he's still been stewing on this, and
He's stewing.
he's been
He's
waiting.
brewing.
So
Yeah. No, I mean, Frank's playing I feel like a very similar character that we've seen him in the past, and I've seen him in all those same things. I watched Werewolves a few months ago, and he's like a main in there, very
wow,
purge
you're supposed to
like.
wait. I asked you to wait.
I'm when were we supposed to watch that?
Halloween's
it
coming
listed?
right up. That would have been a perfect movie night, but that's gone now.
No,
There you
I
go,
had to
patrons.
I had to get it under wraps and watch it.
What'd you have to?
Because I could have died the next day, and I thought I'm gonna die without watching this Frank Grillo Werewolves movie. I need to get it on my letterbox.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I gotta get these movies under wraps here. I gotta watch Face Off, but that I'm saving. Don't worry.
Huh? Isn't that right? Huh, brother?
What have you done?
Oh.
All right. Anything on Frank Grillo's storyline here, Taylor? That you
Black
for
and Blue.
Werewolves?
That's another good one. Another good one too. I really like him in there. I feel like he's a little
What
bit
the
different.
fuck is
but
Black and Blue? Is that a
That's
porno he did back
that's
in
where
in the
that's
aughts?
where the girl is a cop and she walks in on her
the
partner
girl
executing.
is a cop.
Yeah,
The
there's a girl.
That what the? How's that supposed to help me? And
a
you didn't say
porno,
a
is what
girl's a
he's
cop. You
describing.
said the one that the girl's a cop. Like
The
you're
girl.
listening like
So
there's only
there's-
one girl cop movie.
There is a black woman who is a police officer.
Whoa,
her partner
hey,
goes
she used to be
into
a
a
woman. What are you
building.
doing?
Her partner goes into a building where Frank is standing, and Frank executes an innocent guy. And then he's like, "Oh, we're all cops. We're all
Wait,
cops." And her
and
partner
wait.
shoots.
What's the title of this movie?
It's called Black and Blue.
Oh no!
So Frank's partner there immediately just shoots her down, but her body cam catches that, and then the cops, it's all corruption, and
Sounds
the cops
so
cops
familiar.
frame her, and she's on the run. She can't trust anyone, so all these people that are kind of like in the hood
I've
help
never
her
heard
and
of
protect
this.
her,
This
and
could
she
be a
tries to
porn.
get her. It came out in 2019.
Who is the actress?
Tyrese.
Tyrese.
Gibson's in
Oh
here.
no, Taylor. What are you watching here? Who's the female
I
lead?
remember the trailer.
Let me get the name of the
Naomi
female lead.
Harris.
Yeah, Naomi Harris.
Oh, she's great.
Mike
actually.
Coulter's in here.
Really? Okay, Naomi
I'm
Harris.
This
surprised
for
you
movie
haven't seen
night.
it.
We'll do this for movie.
There you go. Yeah, Halloween
The
movie
girl
night.
cop movie. Espo says the first thing I think about Frank Grillo is that there's a Vice video about him. Sorry, that there's a Vice video about him titled "The White Guy is the Biggest Villain in Chinese Film History" because he did tons of movies in China. Really? That's it. What a career. What a. Hey, I'd cast him in a GB movie. He'd beat up Kirkland. But any more thoughts on just the flag storyline?
I mean, it's little by little in each episode we're getting more and more revealed here, and it's gonna be interesting to see where this goes. But I like the idea that you pitched, where is bringing the sun in. We got 99 universes to tackle here, so if it's not the one that Chris is going into, it could be another one. But I think the idea of him going and seeing like, oh, this one and Chris are like best friends or something, that would just totally. I don't know, not subvert expectations, but just be so weird and zany, and just it would it would fuck him up mentally. It would be really, uh, yeah, I don't know, interesting to see that kind of dilemma unfold. So I'd be game for that. But I mean, that aside, I liked him in Creature Commandos. It was interesting him having sex with the queen of, what was it, like Goslandia or whatever that place was called, Transylvania.
She died, right? I never finished that show, but they had to kill her.
I thought they did kill her, right?
They had no
Kirkland?
choice.
Of course. Okay. Let's see. We talked about John a little bit. That's the scene that didn't work for me. When we're welcoming John being back, and they're all being on the rooftop, and it felt like stuff they shot purely just for the trailer, but it made in the show. John Cena just walks in and whatever. He's like, "Oh, the Fabulous Five, blah, blah, 11th Street Gang, whatever," and they just like cheers each other, and they get this montage, and I didn't buy any of this. And don't get me wrong, I feel like that's probably one of the hardest things to do. Is just like, hey, make it look like you're having a genuine good time here with all each other. You're just having a party, but like it just
Pretend that you're having an authentic moment.
Yeah,
that's
like-
not fake.
I would have rather just taken like shots of them like talking, music we didn't see. Like I get it, you got to have vigilantes dance and they're doing like pouring beer on them, but I didn't buy any of this. Like it didn't like feel like the chemistry was there. Even like because I'm always forgetting their names, so I'm gonna do what Peacemaker does. Ads and John, like they were talking and talking about jobs and all this stuff and about being broke. Like none of it felt natural. Like that's where, to your point, Kirkland, like even though I didn't find it funny when they were having the conversations with all the task force people, that's being like a Pulp Fiction thing or like a Tarantino thing, I feel like they're almost trying to go for moments of that here where it's like, oh, it's just a crew hanging out. But I didn't buy it, which is funny because I feel like in season 1 I did buy it, so I don't know if it wasn't as like Whitley written, if they hadn't seen each other for a while. I don't know. It just, something felt off about the scene. And then even the scene with Hardcore and Peacemaker just felt, I kind of been there, done that of, oh, I feel like you're going through a tough time. Like, well, I'm not as fucked up as you. I don't have to be like you. Like, even then, like, I guess, like, they're drawing a line, but still, we got that already earlier in this episode of, oh, like, you need help. And she's like, I'm not a mere lady. Like, I got my own fucking problems. Like, I just feel like they've too many times, and it's only been 2 episodes, hit me with, like, you know, Hardcore, she's got some problems. She's going to solve them herself. That's what I meant earlier when I just felt like none of the conflicts in this season so far were strengthened by this episode. It's just like, okay, Rick Flake's still after John's. Like, we would all assumed he would have read that file, right?
Yeah.
So I just thought the episode started that way because we're going to get some good Rick Flake stuff, and we didn't. With John, we got some stuff, but he's still okay. He's awkward about his friends and them working together. With Hardcore and Cena, there's like a way where it's like, oh, they are attractive, but they're bullheaded. So I just felt like it didn't add anything too diverse to what's happening. So
He's letting one rip.
Jesus Christ.
I think I'll push back on you a little bit there.
That's not what the show's about.
Personally, as I was saying earlier, think that the John Cena Chris stuff was just perfect in here. I do agree with you that the overall like interactions at the party, it seemed very like forced, and just some of the lines, they're like, man, I missed you so much. It's like, oh yeah, it's so great. Like it just seems so odd.
Because
So
it wasn't even written. They just like I'm sure James Gunn did, but just felt like reunion scene, and they're like,
Yeah.
we're gonna get on set and just figure it out.
Yeah,
Like, what do we do?
exactly.
Oh, what if you pour beer? What if you do that? What if we like toss some beers around? Like it just
Yeah.
felt like just pitching stuff.
Like, yeah, it wasn't great, but I don't think that scene was very like important for the story.
Yeah, it took up a
also
lot of
just-
time though.
It did. But if I just focus on the character of Chris, I like the moment because before that he's like emotionally just broken. He's thinking about the other universe's Hardcore. Is her name different or is it always Amelia?
He's sure to Amelia in the text. Because
But,
like,
like-
her name's Amelia, but in the text it just the
Like,
E was
is that
taken
Harcourt's
out.
first name though?
Amelia
in the
Harcourt,
show?
yes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
couldn't remember. But no, like I like how he's thinking about that, and in my mind I'm like, oh, he's just gonna go to that universe because it's so much easier than what's going on in this universe. But then in that moment, to me, like when he actually talks to Harcourt at the party, like approaches her, I thought that was like I'm actually gonna try and give it like a good shot in this universe, try to repair that relationship, and then she just like really lashes out. I'm not as fucked up as you are. Your dad was a fucking Nazi or whatever the hell the line was. And then he's like, "Oh, okay, no, I'm kicked down. Maybe now that's my only choice." And that's kind of how the episode ended in that direction of him texting that version, or I guess he would have just picked up the other Peacemaker's phone.
He did, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's why he got the non-delivered, right? And then he had to enter that
Oh,
door.
right, yeah, I missed that detail. But I don't know. It's just specifically for Peacemaker character, I did like that, and we kind of talked about Economos a little bit. I did like his interaction with Adebayo there. I don't think it was necessarily completely wasted because I think it's just going to be like it's not going to be super satisfying, but I think it's building up in the direction of like him just being kind of in the middle of like the in. I think Tim Meadows is already sus about him, and that he's just gonna have more attention kind of put on him. But I imagine he's gonna be trying to help out the 11th Street gang from inside the Argus insight. So I think the execution of it all wasn't the cleanest. I agree with you there for sure. But I still think that there was some things in here, although it wasn't like significant in advancing the plot and like big time stuff. But I think the John Cena Chris stuff development it is working for me. It's a slow simmer, it's not like we're making leaps and grounds of like progress of changing the character, but like I think it's adding up in a satisfying manner, at least for myself.
Yeah. Taylor?
Oh, I mean, I think there were background things that were happening in there, like when Vigilante's just got his briefs on, and they're pouring alcohol on
He's got a
him.
good physique, man.
He's
good. Yeah,
looking
good on him.
good. Oh yeah, he's looking good. I was eating all that up. I thought that was funny.
Yeah,
but
you were.
everything with Vigilante, I was just eating it up. Oh my god, when he's in there,
You would be a vigilante guy.
I am like when he's like, oh gross, like she flushed the toilet and walked out the door and didn't have any time to wash her hands, like gonorrhea. Like everything he's doing is just cracking me up, and he's so funny. But yeah, I
like
think
sex like he does.
that I took that as a joke where he's just like it's a bond, with your best friend, and he's implying that Peacemaker is his best friend, and Peacemaker's just kind of like he panics about that briefly.
Yeah.
And that
I
made
think
me
he
laugh
meant it
a
best
little
friend
bit.
way of like if you're dating, right? That's
Yeah,
what he meant it
yeah.
as, but Peacemaker,
Yeah.
it takes this he wants to fuck him, but
And again, even him throwing the bottles at Economos, that was cracking me up too. When he did it the second time, I
Taylor,
thought,
come
fuck,
on, that was in
I
the
was
trailer.
laughing.
I
Oh,
hated that in the trailer.
It
too.
made me laugh. But yeah, I thought some of the stuff was a little bit dry, but I thought for the most part it was okay. It serves as not necessarily furthering the plot for them. It was serving as a moment to show, okay, like this secret team's going into Chris's house to try and get at the portal, the interdimensional tech that's in there. That's the ruling reason I feel like we really got this scene, because it didn't do anything else. I guess aside from the fact, like you highlighted, Kirkland, where it's making and compromising Chris a little bit more to the point where he's gonna go drunk text not even his ex, but just another doppelganger version of her, which is weird. Like if Madison and me were just at odds and not doing well, and then there's a chance I could go connect with Madison from another universe, it's like he's
Ever heard of
drunk.
clones,
But
Taylor? Let me
it's
introduce you to the clone universe.
I was gonna say I feel like this is like counterproductive. I feel like you were all for like Loki and Sylvie being a thing.
well, that's like Chris and Chris being together.
And would you be fine with that?
Well, I'm not like I'm
It's
not
different when
attracted
it's
to
not
my
a hot blonde, eh?
no, I'm not attracted to myself. But
I'm not saying. I'm not. I did ask Taylor. I asked Peacemaker. You said like, oh, it's kind of weird if he
no,
goes
but you're
to his
saying
other
Loki and
universe
Sylvie.
girlfriend.
Loki and
It's
Sylvie,
like,
they're the same person.
yeah, but it's still
So
like a
you're
different
saying if-
multiverse. You're going to a different multiverse to fuck yourself versus you're going to a different multiverse to fuck like this partner of yours. I'm not saying one's not weird or the other, but I feel like they kind of have to be similar in line, right? I guess the only thing that's against it is hardcore.
Doing yourself is very different from doing your partner, but
Okay.
a clone of that.
I'm gonna walk back as I guess the difference with hardcore though, she's not gonna know it's a different Chris. I'm gonna say though, if she knows it's a different Chris and is completely fine with it, that's where you get in the same territory. I think is the Loki Sylvie thing.
What do you think, Kirkland? Weigh in.
Only if you agree with me. If not, we'll move on.
I'm gonna be neutral on this.
Oh, big surprise. All right, let's take our last ad break and we'll be right back. And we're back. I guess the other thing it could do for the group being together, because I know we've seen trailer footage, and even in the dance number, you have the Blue Dragon and Chris's brother, and then you have Harcourt there, right? When she's looking more proper, and they're together as a threesome. Not in that way, but you know what I mean. And then in the trailers, when we've seen Peacemaker in this other universe, it's like him going things are going good, and we've seen Harcourt. I could be wrong. I'm sure there's someone out there. It's like I fucking have seen blah blah blah, but it's like as far as I remember, have we seen any of the other crew in the other universe?
I don't think so.
So that Kirkland did shake his head no for people that don't know. So that could be another reason of, hey, these people aren't going to be together that much in this season, so let's do a scene of them just hanging out. And again, I guess I'm not even opposed to the scene. I'm not even know why I'm trying to fight. Like, I'm not opposed to the scene. Like, oh, it shouldn't be there. I just wish it was written better and I cared more about it. But yeah, I think that could be a reason, because I don't know where's Vigilante going to be? Is he going to be somewhere? Or is that going to be someone that Peacemaker's going to have to hunt
I think with
down,
what he
you
was
know?
alluding, I think you're gonna see him meet himself, because he was like, "Oh, that'd be awesome, that'd be great." When Peacemaker's like, "Oh no, it's terrifying when you look yourself in the eye." Like, well, it's because you killed him.
Yeah, which I did appreciate. They did it last week, and I appreciate all the shots of dead Chris. Just like the mouth open is the perfect moment there. And yeah, he got you referred to it already with the vigilante walking through the orgy scene, but that happens. He's upset that he didn't get invited. They find the other Chris and they decide to chop him up, Dexter style, and burn him. Which, yeah, some of John Cena's like low key best acting was actually in that scene of him just being so horrified, cutting
And
himself
Adrian.
up, burning. Yeah, none of that stuff worked for me.
Oh,
Like,
it
again,
works so
that's just
good
like,
for
why
me,
does that
come
character
on.
not know he'd be annoying? Of like, clearly your friend, he looks fucking visually disturbed and distraught, and he's like smiling and making jokes, but then
He's
he's
a
mad he didn't get
weirdo.
invited to. Yeah, and I don't like him.
He's
I
a
don't like.
weirdo.
I don't like him, and I don't find it a funny weirdo either. It's not like Zach Galifianakis from Hangover.
It's
like,
the
for me,
same thing where he's like, "Hey, I was at your
is.
wedding." He's like, "I didn't even invite you." You know, it's the same thing.
That's
like
no,
that.
but that's different. That's a good line. That's a good the humor you guys are talking about. You guys just did that face he's doing while he's brushing. That's not good. And even the lines like that's I even said I gave it credit. Last week that line worked for me. This week these lines were not. They were back to like the same vigilante that's just like kind of grating. And I will say too when Peacemaker did the whole fishing rod thing and got hardcore and wound up. Did that feel like Peacemaker? It felt a little goofy for him. He felt like Star-Lord in that moment to me.
No, it didn't feel like a goofy kind of stunt. It felt, I think it fit, and it felt like a cocky, confident kind of pull. But that was after he looked at the photos of him with Harcourt in this other universe. So I think it was very, very fitting, I'd say.
Kirkland, I just saw, man, he must be asleep. He's got that auto draft on, not good. So, anyways,
Deserved.
yeah.
The one moment too where they were cleaning up the body, I lost it when it's the slow-mo scene and he's like got the tarp wrapped up around the body and the body parts fall out, and it's like slow-mo. You see the head roll out and you see John Cena's feet like stumbling trying to go and grab
Yeah.
it.
All this stuff is
He
good.
picks it up and he's staring at it.
Yeah.
Oh
That
my
fucking
God.
I can't believe they
alien.
didn't bring power tools to do that. They did it with like just
Yeah.
a hand hacksaw. You never see Dexter. do
Maybe
that.
they
But
don't
they're
have
not-
a
they're
plug
not-
in there. I don't know. Maybe it's not
They
official.
got battery devices, but yeah, fair enough.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, you're right. They
Battery
do.
tools,
Yeah.
power
Yeah,
tools.
yeah, you're right. That shouldn't have been an issue there. So
The those photos that were in like of Harcourt and him, I feel like 90% of those were real like photos James Gunn has of his wife on his phone that he's just like, here, we'll throw these in
Man,
there.
I was laughing. I'm like, please, James Gunn, don't have a fucking photo, like a nude photo of your wife on this
Oh, yeah.
fucking show for us. Please do not do it. And then they had like one of her like naked in bed with John Cena. I'm like,
oh
oh,
yeah.
my god.
He's like,
this is
all right,
just-
honey, take all your clothes off.
The
please,
meme,
please."
Taylor,
yeah, the
do
meme. Like, come on, man, this is ridiculous.
do you
I can't
think
believe
that
this.
is a real photo they took, or do you think it's someone they
Oh, it's
did
real.
separate? You don't think there's a chance it's separately and they photoshopped it together?
No, it's real.
I think James Gunn with what he did in Superman. No, he's all for this. He's putting people
He did
together.
nothing in Superman.
Probably taking the photo.
Oh yeah.
Fucking in his cock chair.
Oh
This
yeah,
guy.
he is. He's like in True Lies, Arnold Schwarzenegger in the chair.
That's why they take off your clothes and bend backwards. What about fast? No, slowly, smoothly, like this. James, why are you talking like that? Never mind. If he took those photos and he's literally standing over top of them like a porn director, I think there's a good chance it could be Photoshop, whatnot. And even
I
then
also
if
felt
she's
like
in-
it was implied that there was nude photos in there because he's like scrolling through and then it's
Oh,
like it's like
his
getting to the one.
expressions?
It's like getting to the one where they're like naked in bed and then the camera just goes to his face and it looks like he's still scrolling and still going. I'm like, well, the photos must just be getting spicier and spicier. But
They didn't tell him about the next photos that were in there. It's just
what do you think about that? And they just have the camera
Yeah.
on his face.
James and Jennifer
Authentic
just
reaction.
going on it.
And Jennifer's like, what the fuck's up? Like, is he looking at?
Yeah. Nothing, honey. Take off
For the
your
project,
clothes.
honey. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
take her money.
Yeah. Rehearse the scene again. Trying to think about. Yeah, she texted him, hey, and then she sent a heartbreak emoji. So obviously we did learn that they're broken up, but again, shows the difference already of the two hardcores, right? Of one being like, you're a fucking weirdo, nothing's wrong with me, where this one's kind of actively already admitting that she is heartbroken by the situation. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I really hope. Do you think next week we're just fully into that multiverse now, or is something gonna happen where he gets pulled back into the current, like our current one, and then he'll put there? I really hope it's not. Like I hope we're just he's there, good to go for a little bit, of course. You know.
Like we still have the gang though, right on Earth. Like I feel like we're not gonna just not show them at all.
Well, you can go back to them. I mean, like I just don't. I like Chris to be
Yeah.
in that world now. You know.
I think majority, if not all, of next week's episode he'll be there. Just because like we got introduced to it, and then this whole episode he wasn't there until right at the end, and then now I just feel like this is gonna be that moment, especially taking back to like my theory that like he was trying to maybe establish that he might be happy in this world, and then it didn't work
Yeah.
out. So then he's going back into that world as a little, rebound or something. He was looking pretty fucked up. I did like the little bond moment that he had with Eagly when he gets home, and it just reminded me, I don't know, coming home a little half cut, and you just have your dog. It's like, come here, and you're just roughing up with him, and then Eagly wasn't having any of that.
Yeah, even Eagly denied him, right? He's like, "Fuck this, you know, I'm getting, enough with
Is
all
it-
these
yeah.
people."
Excited to see the Eagly in the other verse. Is he gonna be a duck? Duckly?
He could be dead, maybe.
I think that next episode there's a high chance he's gonna stay in there for quite some time, and I think you're gonna see the characters from the like our current universe start seeping in, going into there. What's going on?
Just some NFL.
Not for
lost
your
stuff.
eyes.
Join the draft next year, Taylor. You can get these memes, you know.
Yeah. No, I think that we're gonna get these characters kind of seeping over one by one into this new universe, and
Yeah.
it makes sense. I think because he's on the run now, and I think he knows he's being surveyed, and Rick Flag Senior is gonna be somehow getting his way in there, and that's where, like we talked about, you can have the son Junior in there with Peacemaker and all that, so you're gonna get a lot of fun shit, and that would be really, really enjoyable, just to see everything, kind of all these characters clashing. Because what's keeping him in the previous universe? There's no looming threat, anything he's gotta fight up
Eventually,
against.
those friends will make a fucking speech about like, "We all love you," and Harcourt will eventually be like, "I do have feelings for you," and yet da 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 da.
But will he go for it when the new Harcourt's gonna be there?
Yeah, I think he will, just because I just don't see this like corn sweat everybody. Like our current DCU is the one he's in, right? So I don't think that's gonna happen. My question is though, when he does go back, what does that do for that universe? Like he fucking killed their Peacemaker, and in this world, looks like he's a hero that does quite well. Like he helps out quite a lot, and even then, same thing. It's like you take the hero side away, like for Robert Patrick and everybody else. Like you killed their son, you killed a brother. If he is dating hardcore in the universe, you killed this guy that she could potentially marry. Like and I hope that's dealt with. I hope it's not some fucking joke, and I don't think it will be, but I hope it's not just a joke and they kind of like shrug it off and Chris goes back to what he's doing, because I feel like, and I also hope there's not just a way that they can magically bring back that Peacemaker, right? Of like, oh well, X, Y, and Z, but I know this character that knows some sort of ritual, and here he is, and get the body parts back
Enchantress.
together. Yeah, exactly, right? Maybe that she's come back. So that's what I'm curious about, but I don't know if they're gonna dive that deep into it. So we'll see.
Dive that deep. Yeah. Something that I mentioned in the spoiler-free section was about Adebayo and her lady, former lady. Last week, I was upset that like they just killed her off screen. Not killed her off, but wasn't gonna see her again. We did see her again, so I was a little bit excited at the beginning of that scene, and then by the end of the scene, I'm like, I don't really care about this storyline. So maybe it would have been better if they killed her off screen. Maybe they'll recoup their their ill whatever. I also just like, I don't know if I really like this character of Adebayo. I feel like I like her in certain scenes with certain people. Like I really like her in Economos. I really like her and Chris. But I don't know. Just the scene with what's her name? Tay K something like that.
Couldn't tell if my life depended on it. It's like a side quest trivia thing.
Yeah, 20 questions.
Yeah, Dark Souls, eh?
Yeah, so I was a little bit iffy on that. I think the best part about that whole scene was when they mentioned Gotham, and I'm like, oh right,
Yeah.
Which was
this
weird.
is
'Cause
Batman's world.
she's like, you said we'd go to Gotham, and now you're opening
We're going back
Spider-Man's
to
here.
Gotham. It's like that's the worst fucking place to live.
It's like clearly ads is in the right here. Like, let's not go to fucking Gotham. Like, Gotham is notoriously one of the worst places in the DC universe. So it's like, why you fucking wanting to go there? I guess you could have a good business there. But no, I think I agree with you. Now I worry that they broke them off because James is writing the script. He's like, well, I really have nothing for her to do. So what if I broke her off from her significant other, and that's the story, right? Is to get her back. But I don't need that. And it's kind of like what we talked about after like Thunderbolts and Superman, where sometimes when a side character pops, I feel like 10 years ago, it was like that person get a spinoff. And we're all like, yeah, we're now like recluse and gone back to like Mr. Terrific, right? When everyone like loved that and like I'd take a movie of him. I actually no, I'd rather him just have a bigger role in a team up. Like I don't think every side character needs something. And same thing here, where it's like with ads, I don't think like I need, if she's just in the show to be a part of the group and she has great scenes with those characters, that's enough for me. Because then to me, like this storyline of her and her significant other, we didn't have enough investment to me last season with the significant other. So to me, it doesn't make me dislike the character, but it makes me, I don't know what another word for annoyed would be, but it's that. It just
Irritated.
Yeah, just as like I don't think there's anything of note here. And granted, maybe ask me in episode 8 and they do something great with this relationship, I'll circle back. I'll say, you know what, I was completely wrong. But I don't think that's gonna be the case because I feel like
Ethan Hunt's it, takes off a mask and it's
Ethan Hunt.
Rick Flag Jr. or the other Peacemaker. Or
I'd have a lot of questions on the sexual relations as well if that were to happen. And I feel like that's some form of assault because he did not reveal that he is not that
We don't have
girlfriend.
to ask those questions. just go along with it.
Yeah, sure. Get him back in the show. I miss Joel Kinnaman. I like Joel Kinnaman a lot. So,
He was okay.
like as Rick Flag or just in general?
He was better than okay. I'll give you that.
Okay. Joel Kinnaman to me is one of those guys where he's very similar to many roles, but he's like when we're talking about, someone likes a Frank Grillo, like Joel Kinnaman to me, like he's in something like, I like him a lot.
Has he been in a Taylor Sheridan project?
He should be. That'd be perfect for, he
Put him
fits
on a
that type
cowboy
of
hat.
mold. Yeah. We were asking.
Silent
Taylor.
Night 2023. I don't see anything Taylor Sheridan related though.
Not yet. What's he
He's
got upcoming?
casted.
Anything upcoming?
Yeah.
Ooh, let's see.
Dix Ahoy #3.
Daddy's home.
Yeah, Daddy's Home 3, The Reckoning.
Upcoming projects include the film Icefall. Let's see.
Oh no,
Taylor
my
Sheridan.
boy.
Solo project.
There's gonna be some fucking
Shot
on
only
this
with an
8th
iPhone.
dimension. This ice is falling. Like it's like that. What was that Earth Fall movie or Earth Explode? Like
Oh, Moonfall.
Moonfall.
With
Yeah.
Halle
like-
Berry?
and this is called Icefall. Oh no.
So it's coming out 2025 this year, starring Joel Kinnaman and Cara Jade Myers. But a game warden and a poacher must team up to find a crashed plane full of money beneath a frozen lake before the criminals and dirty cops get to it. I like that.
Black and blue crossover.
You look like my son. I don't think I have anything left on this episode. Do you guys get anything?
No, I do not.
Okay. There you go. Well, we will be back next week with some more Peacemaker. We'll see what's going on in the multiverse. See if Frank Grillo can win Kirkland over. A bunch of stuff. So, yeah, we'll be back next week. If you got any questions, comments, send them in. YouTube, Twitter, Patreon, Kick, everywhere in between. And I promise you, next week will not be boring.
Bye.